welcome to the Sweaty the Farmer and the Game Design, where we drive through the onion dimension. Everything is fine and layers, and has layers over here. Everything is fine. This is episode number 33. Gamers that misbehave. I am the Lieutenant Gamers, the Sweaty.
And I am Lucho the Farmer. Thanks for joining us in this episode. This week, we drive all the way to the beginning of our journey.
Oh my god. But before that, let's take a look at this week's news. On the docket we have Nightmare bosses in World of Warcraft, new EVE Online update puts items at risk, and Elder Scrolls Online new expansion Greymore has been announced. So, what is this story about a World of Warcraft boss was based on a nightmare?
Yeah, so one of the senior game designers for WoW was recalling that Ner'zhul, which is a boss in World of Draenor, I think.
Yeah. From what?
That she came with the idea of the fight. Well, she basically had a nightmare of the character.
Yeah, about the boss fight. Apparently he was designing the boss fight, and she tested it, and that night she had a nightmare about the boss fight. And then she was like, "That's the thing that I should do in higher difficulties." Well, you get inspiration from unlikely sources all the time, I will say. But imagine how much you will have to work in something to get nightmares about it.
It's not that uncommon.
Yeah, having nightmares about your job.
Not nightmares, but like
weird dreams.
If you go to a thinking about work, it's very likely that you will intensively thinking about work, and you're really tired at the time.
Yeah,
you're more than likely to have dreams about working. It happens.
But the interesting thing is he actually put his nightmare onto the.
That is the interesting thing, because when I was an undergrad, I'll be working on homework, or things I'll be thinking all day, and then I'll be stuck in this proof, trying to, and I will dream about it, and I will come up with a solution in my head.
Yes.
While dreaming, while sleeping.
Yeah.
And then, the next morning, I'll try to put it to paper, and it wouldn't work.
So you do dream about your work, but it never works.
It never works. Not in your dreams. At least not with math. So it is. I find it interesting because it's it worked for her. That's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, I have had nightmares about playing games or doing work and that sort of stuff, but never. I do have had ideas for game that I put into design documents because of dreams. That had happened to me. I have an entire design document about this concept of MMORPG weird thing, all based in a dream, in a couple of dreams that I had. So I guess it works more for creative people than for mathematicians, I guess. Is there any famous mathematician that came up with a solution in a dream?
Maybe, I don't know.
You don't know? Maybe. Have you ever come with an idea?
Saying that math is not creative is just a stereotype.
I know. But have you come with an idea for something in your field by dreaming it, or in a dream, or an inspiration in a dream? You dream something about something that's that gives me an idea about X or Y.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's just that you cannot work the details, but you can have general ideas of things. Sure.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah.
But I completely disagree with the fact that people think that math is not creative.
I know that math is creative, but
like
a lot of people doesn't
most
think
mathematicians
are
are some of the most creative people that you'll ever meet.
Yeah. But
they have a lot of quirks, and mathematicians are weird. That's true, but
yes.
but they're very creative.
All right, fair enough. Yeah. To solve what is in the field, I agree. They should
Yeah,
be like very
but I don't
creative
know.
people.
I love this story. It's just cool. Like it just shows you how much also like the developers care.
Yeah, you don't know. Yeah, it shows you like the dedication of the work that they're doing inside the
Yeah,
game. Yeah, absolutely. And it,
even for like an expansion that was overall bad, like
yeah.
Warlords, that
Yeah, it was
is
considered very bad.
it's now considered like one of the worst expansions, probably the worst expansion
Yeah.
in World of Warcraft. And like still developers care a lot about it.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
put all their time and effort.
So the thing here is like even if it was a bad product at the time, even if it is or was a bad product, there was still a lot of dedication to try to make it good. I
Yeah, I
think
don't think anyone tries to do
bad
like to
stuff on
make a
purpose. Yeah.
bad product. Yeah.
Yeah. And like and if you ever feel like a boss is a nightmare, maybe you're reliving somebody else's nightmare, and the work is done.
Yeah. Although to be fair, I have heard, or at least from our raid leader, that
Yeah.
he really likes Warlords of Draenor dungeons and raids.
It is a cool I remember when I was leveling up the warrior that
Yeah,
when I hit Warlords of Draenor, I feel like it was like I finally hit like modern World of Warcraft,
it
because
is. It is.
the opening narrative and the story that is planted in Warlords is super interesting. It's super
Yeah, I
well
mean, it
designed.
is definitely that expansion was probably more Cataclysm, but like Cataclysm brought a lot of the like mechanical modern WoW,
Yeah.
but Warlords brought a lot of the more like storytelling WoW,
All right. Yeah.
like how
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
deliver the stories and the narration.
Yeah. And the scenarios and that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have to say I really like the idea of the garrison.
Yeah.
I think it's such a cool idea.
Yes, but apparently it was like badly executed. But everybody likes the idea of the garrison. Like
It's not.
every time I hear like World of Warcraft like expansion reviews or like stuff about like legacy mechanics, they always say like, "Oh yeah, what like Warlords of Draenor brought us the garrison system and that sort of stuff." And it's a good idea, and it kept on the game, but they haven't been able to like fully realize it, and it's always the
It
same with
is.
war
I,
with war.
I was talking. I was talking about the garrison thing with Seal
Yeah.
the other day, and it's like I feel like the problem with the garrison is that you had everything there, and you will spend a lot of time in the garrison, but
Yeah.
it's your own, so you don't see other people. Even if there are a lot of NPCs in there,
Yeah.
like you spend a lot of time alone there because it has the profession things,
Yeah. Yeah.
it
Yeah.
has
Yeah.
everything you need.
Yes.
So you really don't need to leave.
Yes.
And that renders a lot of the public spaces useless, basically.
I see. I see. All
And
right.
that is one that is like one of the cool things about an MMO, in my opinion, is like to go to one of the main cities
And see the
and
people.
just see a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's not the case for most of the cities in World of Warcraft, to be fair. Like
Yeah.
that is true for like the current hub and the Stormwood, which is the main city.
Yes. Correct.
And a lot of the other ones are kind of empty,
Yeah, which makes sense in terms of
which
like what people is doing.
which makes sense. But
Yeah.
if you wanna make the game feel alive,
Yeah.
you need people in your hub,
Of course. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
and like designing a mechanic that it's cool. I think the garrison is cool,
Yeah.
but that it undermines that fundamental thing called an MMO.
Yeah.
It's pulling into different direction. You know what I mean?
Fair enough. Yeah.
So finding a way to execute a garrison-like thing without completely destroying player hubs.
Yeah.
I think it's hard.
That is true, but the idea was interesting. Like I think
I love it. I love the idea.
Yeah, I think the solution will be like something that some system that makes you that makes it worth it to go to other people's garrisons or something like that. I don't know. It's a difficult thing
Some
to
people
design around.
have been throwing like guild halls or like guild garrison.
Yeah.
Which is kind of an intermediate step.
Yes.
Between like personal player housing and just a straight up player hub, like something that feels more personal to you.
Yeah, but I think like if I was going to try to like to pitch an idea to fix this, I'd probably say like put the entrance to your garrison or guild garrison or guild hall or whatever you want in the middle of your main hub city and try not to have everything in there, so people have like so you will encourage the behavior of going in and out of your personal garrison, and you can take people into your personal garrison or to your guild garrison, and then
I like that. You have to be careful with not overloading things with loading screens.
Yeah, that would be
like if you have to go in and out too often.
Yeah, that would be like a problem. Yes.
Yeah.
But that would be.
You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, but that would be like the only solution that I think of.
I agree with you. That's also how I would solve it. Like,
sorry, I didn't understand.
Oh, she did not understand.
my Google thing fire up.
Oh my God, Google did not understand that.
No, but going back to the point, like I agree. Like I would put an entrance to a garrison thing in the main city, but it is hard to say what things should we put on the
main city and what things you should put in the garrison. Have you seen the design that they're doing for the main hub in Shadowlands?
I've seen it. It's for the main hub.
Yeah, for Ouroboros. I think is the name of the city.
Yeah, I saw it. It feels like it's just a response to all the complaints that they got from the pin commit.
Yep. Yeah. And it seems like the design is going to be fairly straightforward. Everything is there. Everything on reach, and it's just like designed to be just a stepping stone to whatever you need to do in Shadowlands. And I think that should be the purpose of a main hub, right?
I don't know. I like yes and no. Like it must be functional.
Yeah.
But it needs flavor. Like.
But I think our bars have pretty flavor. Even if the design is simple.
It could. It depends on the execution.
Yeah,
it's hard to tell at this point.
We will review it when it's out.
it is hard to tell. Like that's what I like about Boralus.
Yeah.
It is a functional hub.
Yeah.
Like everything is nearby. It's in a convenient place.
Yeah.
But the whole area has personality, and it's surrounded by like things that makes it interesting. I don't know.
Will you like an auction house in Boralus?
Oh, that'll be so much convenient.
Yeah, I know, right? That's the only thing that we were missing, man. I was like, oh, come on, dude. I have to go to Stormwood to get an auction house. But I'm not rich to buy a mount that has an auction house.
they are never gonna put an auction house outside of the main city.
Is there not any other auction house besides the one in Stormwind?
There is one. Like there are some that are like non-faction specific auction houses, but there are not that many around.
Oh, okay.
You remember there is a town. Oh, I forgot the name. There is a town where you can take a ship that takes you from Kalimdor to the Eastern Kingdoms.
Yes.
That it has like a piratey team.
The pirate team. Yeah. And
that one has an auction house that works for both factions.
Wasn't there like a fight for the control of that town at some point in WoW Classic?
Maybe, I don't know.
But yeah, that's the only one. Like you always have to go to.
I think there may be another one. I'm not sure. I don't know all the towns that well.
It happens the same in the Horde side. Like you have to go to Ogrimmar for access to the auction house.
Yeah. Everything is mirror, basically.
Yeah, I wonder why. They will not put an auction house just to recall you to the main city.
I think it's because they don't want to render the main cities of each faction useless.
Which makes sense. Yeah.
Makes sense. You see? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it does make sense. And that makes sense. Like the reason why the mount that actually has an action is so expensive and difficult to get.
Yeah. Not only that, and why is it disappearing once Shadowlands?
Yes, when Shadowlands arrives.
Drops. It makes sense, and like I know that people don't like it, but it probably serves a greater purpose to actually make the game feel more alive.
Yeah.
Which
because
you
there's
could
always
argue is artificial, but
because I was thinking about it, I was like, oh yeah, there are always people in Stormwind, and I know that when you are leveling up, you spend a lot of time in Stormwind because it's the central hub to go to everything. But beyond that, once you're max level, if there was not an auction house in there, you shouldn't you wouldn't have any reason to go back to Stormwind. And it's cool. It makes it cool because you see a lot of high level players in Stormwind while you are leveling up, and you see all the crazy mounts and the Strasmog and stuff they have.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I wish they will like put more new stuff in the Storm. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They have weird events, don't they?
They do have like the seasonal events, like they always happen around Stormwind, and there are always NPCs like giving you quests and stuff.
But you wish it was like more prevalent?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe more stuff going on all the time.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah. It's a cool city. Anyways, moving on.
Yeah.
Our next docket is new EVE Online update puts items at risk if player Citadel falls into despair. So, there is when you play EVE Online and you go to a mission, if your ship is destroyed, whatever is in your ship is lost. Right? It's a risk of EVE, which makes the game super interesting. But now there is some Citadels and NPC life that is built by players, by community of players, and those places were always safe from destruction, right? Now with this new with this new update, they're gonna make it like if a faction destroys a citadel, anything that is stored there of the players is destroyed, right? And because EVE is it's a highly economic driving based game, now the faction wars will mean more, because if you are fighting between two mega corporations and you get a bunch of citadels destroyed, a bunch of your players are going to lose a lot of things, which makes the game so much so much more aggressive to put it in perspective, right? Because they used to be like super safe zones, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting.
Yeah. Like, can you imagine like around 40,000 players losing a bunch of resources and items because the Citadel got destroyed by other mega corporation? Like tools for blowback into the unending mega corporation war in EVE Online.
But it's not only that. Like, if I'm reading correctly, it is basically to discourage people from building like these citadel things and just leaving them like in low power maintenance thing.
Yeah.
They just want people to
actually
properly
care about
maintain the citadel. So
it makes sense. Like removing like kind of like garbage structures from the game.
It's not that it's garbage, it's just that if you want to incentivize players to care, like it is bad if you can just like build a thing and forget about it and let it run forever, and it will be a perfect defense kind of thing forever. And you have to nothing
to maintain it or anything. Like it's just like a passive kind of thing. They transform it that passive side to something more active.
So in that sense, it makes sense. I see why they're doing the change. I don't think it's just to incentivize more fighting. It's just to incentivize people taking more active care of the Citadel thingies.
Yeah.
Which, fair enough. And things, like, it just sounds dramatic because things are going to get lost in the, like, transition process.
But then, and they're going to make it, like, drop loot. Like, the actual Citadels will now drop loot, which is always good.
It is. It is interesting. Players. It is.
Yeah.
It is an interesting way to...
I love this
enforce player involvement.
In
the maintenance of the citadels.
This means nearly 20,000 player built citadels could turn into giant piñatas floating in space, waiting to be cracked open and to see the goodies fall out.
I mean, it's probably not gonna happen out of nowhere. So
yeah, but like probably after this patch, there're gonna be a bunch of like abandoned citadels that are gonna disappear. Like people,
for sure, but
like, oh.
But
there's nobody here.
Like for example, if you're still an active player and you own one of the Citadel thingies and you kind of forgot about it, like now you have to think, oh, do I care? Is it worth for me to invest the time and resources to keep it alive?
If this is gonna like create a bunch of like mega citadels, like people are gonna move a bunch of like items from one citadel to another and abandon the ones that like are not that well protected or they're like in a dangerous place or something like that.
Probably, but you shouldn't put all your eggs in the same basket.
I know. Because that basket could be blown up.
Yeah.
It's a cool update, man. Eve is such an interesting game. That's why we keep bringing it back. And for the last news, Elder Scrolls Online Grimoire opening harkens back to Skyrim and is the new expansion for the Elder Scrolls Online. And Elder Scrolls Online is another of those big MMOs, RPGs that I've seen in the corner of my eye and I've been like tempted to buy. And I was like, oh my God. Because, I like Skyrim and the gameplay, and I've seen some gameplay from the Elder Scrolls Online, and it looks interesting. And they did one of the expansion, and it's like it's not subscription based, so you just buy the Elder Scrolls Online and then you buy the expansions, depending on what access to what content do you want to get. So right now it's like this is the third expansion they're doing. I think it's the third expansion they're doing. So it's a very, very cool online game. And now they're making an expansion based on Skyrim. And the thing to note is that the Elder Scrolls Online is is in the past, right? So have you played Skyrim or the one before, or the any of the Elder Scrolls games, Lucho?
Yeah.
Have you played
But
Skyrim?
I don't remember any of the stories.
You have played Skyrim?
Yep.
Yeah. So Skyrim is set in the future, well, technically in the present of the Elder Scrolls games, and this game, the Elder Scrolls Online, is set 3,000 years in the past, in the middle of one of the big wars that was in the history of the Elder Scrolls, where the three kings were alive and some weird stuff happened. It's set way in the past. So it's interesting because they're gonna go to Skyrim in this time period, and if I'm not wrong, in this time period there's still the Dragon King is still alive. So there was one of the first dudes that had the shouts from the dragons, and he was a super conqueror dude and unified all Skyrim under one banner. And so it's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen in that expansion in particular, because that this the idea of this set piece is weird, because the story has been already written, right? So if you go to Skyrim and check some of the storybooks, things already happen, and that's the thing that you're playing the MMO. So I wonder if that lessens what you do in the world of Elder Scrolls Online.
Depends. I mean, it is also an interesting opportunity to some nice storytelling using how to feed quests that will to assign quests that will fit properly on the known lore. That's an interesting challenge. And it could be an interesting idea, if you have played both games and you go back to Elder Scrolls Online and you play quests that basically relive the stories that you have known.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a cool concept. It depends on the execution.
Yeah, I wonder if it lessens player choice in that sense, because you know the outcome of the history already.
I mean,
right?
How would it lessen it?
Well, I don't know, because there's no surprise. You already know what's gonna happen.
Sure.
Even if you know when to change something, you already know that the story is gonna happen.
You really don't change things in MMOs, you know that.
I know, but that's the thing that you're selling players, that you're unique and your choices matter and stuff.
But not in the story front.
Yeah, not in the lore, in the general lore. What you do? There's been events that do that, right? That is the outcome is decided by what the players do.
Sure, but that takes time, and that only happens
once in a full
that's
moon?
how all for a limited time.
Yeah.
And if you're there, you take part, and if you're not, then you don't, and that's it. but that's still somehow scripted. That's not really player choice.
Oh my god. All right. What will?
But it is scripted.
Yeah, I know. Well, the question will be this expansion looks very cool, and what got leaked was the intro of the expansion, which harkens back to the intro of the Skyrim game, when you wake up in the back of the wagon, getting into Skyrim, and then you get attacked by the dragon, etc., etc. We all know. We all know how Skyrim starts. The majority of us know how Skyrim starts. So they kind of make the same here to the intro of the expansion, which looks very cool. But then my question is for you, Lucho. Would you like MMOs to be more player choice dependent on what happens in the lore?
No, I prefer MMOs to tell me interesting stories.
All right. You prefer them to convey a proper, more quote unquote linear story that gives.
I mean, it doesn't have to be linear. It's just It doesn't have to be linear. It just it is just a scripted story.
Yeah. So you prefer that a game that lets you choose.
It is otherwise it is impossible to tell.
You can always
You cannot you cannot produce cinematics that take into account player choice.
Well, you always do it binary, like you
even if you do binary, like the amount of resources that you're gonna waste on something that is not gonna be seen is not worth it.
That's
Probably.
the beauty of it. Like there is a
That's
story.
not. It's a waste of time and resources.
There's a story about like an expansion. Like there is a story about expansion in Magic again, when they actually print cardboard, right? When like the third part of a set block, so the third part of the story was determined by a vote of the players. And there was an entire set design that never saw the light of day. Because the players. What?
How many times have they done that?
Once.
Okay. Why do you think that's the case?
Yeah, because you will.
Okay.
All right.
I mean,
it's still cool. It's still a cool concept.
It is. It maybe. I kind of disagree with that.
All right. It's still a cool concept. Make it feel like the player base have a real choice about.
But they don't.
In the game.
Again, if you give them two options, that's not real choice.
Yeah, you choose. You choose one or the other.
No, that's not. No, you're giving them two. No.
Choose.
No, you're giving them two options.
Yes.
That's not real choice. I cannot walk away from that. Like.
Well, of course not. But you cannot play.
Okay,
that's how you can walk away from it.
Yeah, but then it is not real choice. It is still a script.
All right, fair enough.
So if it is still scripted, then it is a better use of resources to tell like a complete cohesive story. But in which you're putting all your resources into.
But I still like games where my choices matter. Like there's a bunch of games where the ending depends on what you did in the game, or like things about
but those games are not MMOs. You're talking about a completely different genre of games.
Well, yeah, I was thinking it just occurred to me like
you're thinking about the Mass Effect thing.
Yeah,
but that's not an MMORPG.
No, that's
okay.
That's an RPG, like RPG, and that's it.
Yeah, sure, but it's not an MMORPG.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a complete different genre of game.
Yeah. You're right.
I'm not saying that you cannot do it in the video game sphere.
Yeah.
You just brought to me this news about Elder Scrolls Online, which is really an MMORPG.
Yes, correct.
So,
anyways,
and also,
yeah,
in my opinion, the player agency of an RPG is more enjoyable on the gameplay side than on the story side.
Of an MMO, yeah, it's more about what you do as a player individually, yeah.
Playing my class how I want, me choosing what race, what class, what spec to play. How do I want to play it?
Yeah, those are the choices. Like, how do I want to look?
Yeah.
What do I want to do?
It's not that it doesn't have agency. It's just that
it's still interesting. Like, it's still interesting those kind of like events that that lets the player base as a whole take a decision about something.
Yes, or and no. Like one of the things that I find cool about an MMO is the feeling that you're just one soldier.
Yeah, all right.
That you're taking part in something bigger than you.
Fair enough. Even if they try to like not make you feel like that, they still try to make you feel like you are special.
Yeah, of course they do, but I don't know. Like when you play the intro scenarios for BFA, that you do it with a lot of people. Not like you're playing in the middle of expansion. There's no one playing it, but if you played it at the beginning,
There was a lot of people in that scenario?
There was a lot of, like, in the scenario.
Nice.
They're like right size.
Cool. I haven't played any scenario with like a lot of people.
I know. I know you have not. That's what I'm telling you. But then it feels like you're taking part in something larger than you.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
Or you know when you play the Warframes in BFA?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's the kind of, I like that feeling of I am not a special. I mean, even though a lot of the cinematics are hero or
the hero
champion,
you are the hero of
whatever
the champion, whatever. Yeah.
But I don't. It's okay for me, but I enjoy it more when it's like, oh, I'm just one more hunter across the ranks. That feels more special, like feeling part of something big, and in that sense, it's harder to, like, why would the choice of a footman soldier matter?
Yeah, fair enough. in the overall thing of like in the big lore thing, yeah.
That's what I like. It may be weird. It may be my own personal preference.
Fair enough.
But I like that. I like it. Yeah, I'm just a little soldier in the war.
Yeah. Anyways, this expansion looks great. I wish best of luck to online. Like they are becoming like one of the best. Like they had a very rocky start when they launched the Elder Scrolls Online, but right now they're very good MMO RPG, and their expansions are proved to be really cool in terms of content and that sort of stuff. So I encourage you to check it if you're interested in the Elder Scrolls and you like Skyrim. At least go and check it. And that's it for news.
That's it for news.
Yes. Now we move on to our deep dive. So disclaimer, and first we begin to apologize for the delay of this episode because of the pandemic. Like there's a bunch of systems in the internet that's been stretched into the max. So we had at least I have had like some technical difficulties with internet services provider and stuff through all these 2 weeks, and it's been kind of super unstable because of this, I guess, the stress that have been put onto the networks.
Technical difficulties plus IRL stuff that pops from time to time.
Yeah. So
it made it impossible for us to record the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. So we apologize for the delay on the episodes. As long as we're able to record it, we will. So we will try to keep it constant. But there's some things that are beyond our control, basically. Like if we don't have internet, we cannot record this, basically.
Pretty much.
Very much. So the discussion here is based on our opinions and our own in-game experience. We can be wrong in some facts. We sometimes check Wikipedia or like the direct Wikipedia from the game. See, we feel like we're doing something wrong, but our opinions are based in our personal experience through the games that we play, and we try to always talk about games that we have experienced in some shape or form. So if we're wrong, or if you don't like your opinion, or if we are saying something wrong about the game that is inaccurate, please, we encourage you to leave it in the comments section down below. If you're watching us on YouTube, or send us an email or tweet us our social media, or pass by my stream and complain about it, you are free to do so, and we encourage you to do so, because that makes us better podcasters.
Yes.
So there you go. There you go. Feel free. All right. So our first topic, our 3 topics of the day are behavior in public matchmaking, what will be a new class in World of Warcraft, and Warframe affinity problems. Those are our 3 topics of today. So behavior in public matchmaking. So this person is complaining about it, that he's been having a lot of trolls in his public matchmaking through the Warframe experience.
Yes.
Like people that doesn't let him like finish missions, or like troll him around, or like that sort of stuff. And He's saying like, "Oh, I played this game to relax, and why is this people ruining my relaxation with trolling in a game that is free to play and it come from other games, and this should not happen. People should be serious about games even if you want to relax and goof around." Right?
No. I like he says at some point, oh, I love this line. I am a very well-known player in a different game. Pay and play that game. I have to say that this type of behavior have never been observed there. It is immediately punished with a permanent account ban.
Which game is he talking about? Have you ever heard a game where somebody gets banned for trolling in the middle of a mission? Like the things that he's describing?
I don't know.
Right? Like I was thinking about that. It was like,
I thought hard about it, like Destiny.
No.
Oh, like not like immediate account ban, like
no, not even like unless you're cheating, like unless you're actually cheating, they won't ban you in Destiny by like trolling people in the middle missions.
Overwatch, like you can report people, but it's not an immediate ban. Like
no,
it like the system is designed to take a couple of complaints.
Because people are gonna complain all the time, like, and people are gonna have like wrong accusations about you and that sort of stuff. Like if it happens to us, we thought a guy was cheating in one of our games, and he was like actually smurfing. So there you go. Which is technically allowed in the system. But anyways, so yeah, there's no game that
you can buy another account and just
exactly. There you go.
Go have fun.
Yeah. So we don't know which game is he referring to begin with.
I don't know. Like, I thought about it and I said, what game? I have no idea.
Like unless you're concurrent, like I was thinking, well, League of Legends. If you troll concurrently, maybe you will get banned. You will probably get you get a warning to begin with, right? Nobody gets instantly banned.
It is the same thing as Overwatch. Like probably you're trolling people. You will get a lot of reports in your account. You will get flagged. You will get probably a warning at some point.
Yeah.
And then if the reports keep coming, you will get a suspension. Then a ban
for a couple of weeks or something like that.
Yeah, that's pretty standard. I don't.
Yeah. Well, like who cares if somebody trolls in Warframe? I think this is my point. It's like
and that's the point of a lot of the responses, is that the way that you approach Warframe, and that most people do approach Warframe, is really chill. Like
it's like whose line is it anyways, where the points doesn't matter and the questions are made up. I think so. It's a feeling like that. It's like, yeah, you want to progress in the game, which is fine, but you're not gonna get super upset if somebody is like goofing around.
Yeah, there is one thing that is annoying, and it is doing spy missions in public.
Yeah.
With people that don't know the
map.
The map or the puzzles.
Well, I don't remember. Does spy mission has time limits? I don't think so, right?
I mean, if you trigger the alarm, yes.
Yes. No, if you trigger, no, I'm asking you.
It doesn't?
No. So you can if you are annoyed by people who like randomly run through alarms, and like they're not capable to actually because I've seen runs where people just run through alarms and deactivate the thing, and that's it.
No, that's fine. It doesn't matter. Like if you know that you can make it, just fine. Go for it. It really doesn't matter. Like you can finish most of the puzzles.
If you're annoying, but for me, like if you're annoying in that scenario, just make it solo. You can take your time, like running as a spy mission, like be stealthy about it.
Do you know when it is annoying? When you're doing spies in the sortie mission.
When it's high level.
No, only when it's in part of the sortie.
Yeah.
Because in that one, like in any other spy mission, if you only need to complete one of the puzzles.
Yes.
But in the 30 one, you need to complete the 3 of them.
Yeah, correct.
So that one can be annoying. It's like, oh, shit.
I
forgot
really
to
like. I really do. I really do. Rarely do sorties with in public. To tell you the truth.
Oh, I bug them all the time. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I especially if they're a spy mission. I know that I know the maps, and I know that I just use Loki, and I'm quick enough to just do it by myself.
For the most part,
yeah,
it goes well. Like most people know the puzzles.
Yeah.
And for the most part, if someone doesn't, like they will say like, "Oh, I don't know this puzzle."
And somebody will tell you, "All right, I will take that.
I'll do it."
I will do it, and that's it. That's the end of the conversation. Like I've even have like missions where I go run, get like 2 points, and the other person just runs to the exit, and that's it.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter.
Right, it doesn't actually matter. So, first, which game is he playing where they permaban people for trolling? And second, like, yes, it's annoying, but why should it matter? Like, I don't feel like in my experience, like we were discussing this before starting the podcast, and I was like, in my experience, I remember. Because the thing is, like, if you remember things in games that had like an impact on you, then there must be a problem with it, right? But I don't remember right now that I never have a problem, like public matchmaking in a mission with somebody trolled to the point that I feel like extremely annoying. Right?
Yeah.
I never had the problem. Like. Like even you aggravate me with like the Nova portals. I don't care. It's funny.
Yeah, I mean, I am one of the trolls, but
there you go.
But not really. It's just like for the most part, you can carry the missions alone.
Yeah.
At some point.
yeah. Of course, yeah.
So I can pretty much carry all the missions by myself. It is annoying when people make them more difficult than what they should be. So, for example, again is the sortie, like the defense sortie.
Yeah.
Where the target is like the little guy.
Yeah,
that
when
moves
he's moving.
around.
Yeah.
So that one is so much easier if everyone stays still in one room and you just let the enemies come to you.
Yeah, if not, the dude start chasing random people outside, and he can randomly die. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. But again,
but you can still do it. You just follow the little guy. It's annoying.
Yeah,
it just slows the mission down. It makes it super long.
But like, but the point that you're doing so well, I don't know. Like, I don't find it. I don't know. Like, that's solvable. Like, it's not gonna destroy my experience.
No, it doesn't ruin the experience. Like, if I'm really not in the mood to, like, just to go around following the guy, for example.
Yeah.
I'll just disconnect and like I'll just abandon the mission and remake it. Like,
yeah, there you go. Problem solved.
At the end of that discussion.
There you go. Yeah.
And you can always do that. It really doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does not matter. Again, the points are made up, and the questions doesn't matter. Like. Yeah, I don't know what's the biggest the big annoyance of this dude. Like he's saying that everything's terrible and like especially Warframe. Like I understand in rank systems. Like you if you're trying to climb or trying to win and that sort of stuff, and somebody's like just trolling. It's absolutely egregious when you're trying to like rank up or like play something serious and you expect
video game is serious. It's
I know. But you expect certain behavior when you're going into a competitive mode, right?
Nah, it's a video game.
Come on. Come on, Lucho, stop it. That's the reason why you don't play competitive games and I play competitive games.
They're still just video games.
I know they're still just video games, but you expect certain behavior when you're going into a competitive mode. And I have had a lot of trolls, and it's not being like the end of the world, even if in the most competitive settings that I've been like. Yes, I find it annoying. Yes, I find it egregious. But at the end of the day, it's not gonna stop me from having my fun.
Yes and no. It depends.
Yeah.
It depends. I cannot enjoy Overwatch anymore.
You cannot enjoy Overwatch anymore.
I don't enjoy it at all.
Okay. Why?
Oh, because people are assholes.
Oh, yes. But that's yeah.
But the whole game only works if people are not assholes.
Okay. Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah.
That's the only way that game works.
Yes, correct. That's why you play with friends all the time. I'll try to play with friends all the time. Because
but most people cannot.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Overwatch right now is like in a very
I think place. Like right now I think Overwatch is a failed game.
Yes, I will agree with that.
I think it is a nice concept. It was well executed. Yeah. Like combat itself.
Yeah.
But I think it failed as a game.
Yeah. It is a problem of like not properly educating your player base in a community sense. I think that's the thing about Overwatch.
I don't know what the problem is, but in my mind, it's a failure. Like, if I think of a game, and the only thing that I can remember about the game is me just being, like, just the feeling of, I don't want to play this anymore.
Yeah. That's
a failure.
Yeah.
Like, even for games that I don't play anymore now.
Yeah.
When I think about them, it's like, oh, that was so much freaking fun.
Yeah.
I don't have that feeling with Overwatch.
Fair enough.
I may have said that I had fun at some point, but that's not what I remember now.
Okay. That's not the feeling that the game lets leave you with.
Yeah. So in my head, it's a failing. It's a failure of a game.
Fair enough. Yeah. Anyway, so why, like, in Warframe, it should not matter. Like, why are you stressing about people having fun?
I mean, if you're stressing about people, just play alone. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. You can always put private and go and like.
Or go to
you even say like you have Vault and you're at your max level and you're doing like task easier. So. What is your problem, dude? Like I had the feeling that he was like, I will speculate about this. I got the feeling like he's probably high rank in some other competitive game and he has not much encounter with trolls at whatever level he at. And he came into Warframe expecting that people would be extremely serious about the game in matchmaking, and he gets annoying easily, I guess.
I don't know. It has control issue.
Yeah, that's another thing, right?
It's Warframe.
It's Warframe. Like, man.
It is a game to chill and relax.
Yeah. Like what do you what are your expectations when you go into a public mission in Warframe?
Oh, that I'll have to do it all myself.
Yeah, there you go.
But that's fine.
Yeah, like I remember even when we were like leveling up through Warframe, there was a bunch of missions that we just do together,
Yeah,
right? Even if they were difficult missions, we prefer like to do it just the two of us, and that's it. Like even if well even when we got to farm stuff, we even like do it like just by ourselves, like the majority of the time when we were starting to play the game. Now we can carry anything. So sometimes it's easier to do in a group. Sometimes it's a little bit more difficult. Like, but you roll those dice because you know at the end of the day, like more often than not, it's faster to do it with a group, right?
true.
That would be my assessment. Like in public matchmaking in Warframe, like it doesn't really matter. Like there's a point that doesn't really matter what are you pairing with, or what is the attitude of the other player.
Yeah, it is. It is fun because I was thinking about this in the sense of it is interesting how you approach uh, public matchmaking or some equivalent to that in different games.
Yeah,
Because like when I do it in Warframe, it really doesn't matter. Like I'm prepared to carry the missions on my own, and it's fine.
yeah.
But then I was thinking about running like mythic dungeons in WoW
Oof. All
with
right.
bugs, like just bugging them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I was thinking like, you do expect people to know what they're doing.
At some, yeah,
Not at some point, at any point.
yeah.
Because it's just something that you cannot do on your own.
Correct. Yeah, you
So
can
it
absolutely
is
not do it on your
interesting,
own.
like the social dependency and there is kind of an agreement in the community that when you apply to a group to a Mythic Plus, you know what you're doing. And it is on you to know the affixes for the week, and it is on you to know the things
Yeah, yeah.
and to act accordingly,
Yes, yes.
which I find interesting. Even though it's not, I mean, you could argue that it's competitive, but not really. If you're running keys around like +10 or something like that,
Yeah.
there is not really competition there. Like,
No, it's just like complaining, doing the task more than competing
yeah,
together.
but you still expect people not to troll,
Yes, correct, correct. Yeah.
and you expect more than that. Like you expect them to know how to play their classes more or less, to know the mechanics of the dungeon, to more or less know the whole thing, like know the trash, know the bows and counters, know the priority targets and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it is interesting how people approach different games in such a different way.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. But it's like, but I think that's the thing, right? You in Warframe you can do a lot of things by yourself, like the majority of things by yourself.
You can do everything by yourself.
Yeah, you can do everything by yourself. But in World of Warcraft, you cannot do everything by yourself. So the social norms and the expectancy is a necessity for the game to actually function.
Which I find interesting, and how people abide by the rules for the most part.
Yeah,
Like
for the
you'll
most
find
part, you
people.
always find the dude that is trolling, that doesn't know what to
Well,
do. But
I
even
think
so, if people doesn't know what to do, they tend to say to you like, I don't know how this works or whatever.
I don't know. Not all the time. Like you will come across people
There's
who
some people who
just don't know
expect
what
to
they're
be
doing.
carried. Like I found that more often, like people who expect to be carried in in bugs.
At certain levels, I don't care.
Yeah.
If I don't care carrying undergear people that know the things.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah.
Because it just when you're running dungeons, there's a lot of the dungeons have a lot of avoidable damage.
Correct. Yes. Correct. Yeah.
And that avoiding it is just knowing where to stand, or not standing in goo, or knowing what spells to kick and that kind of stuff.
Yes.
And it is just knowledge. And sure, maybe you are under gear. It could be an alt that is just gearing up.
Yeah.
So it's putting up all the damage. And if I can, I don't mind. But as long as that person is not just dying into stupid shit all the time, or pulling stupid shit all the time.
Yeah.
It's fine. I don't mind. But not knowing the things is the thing that is annoying. Or not being polite. So the other day, I was running a +10 workshop with some guildies and a random tank and a random DPS. And we were in the third boss, and our healer, it was the first time our healer was doing a +10 with the oilies thing.
Yeah.
So the person missed one of the oilies and couldn't get that the person missed the third oilies. Yeah, to escape the little traps in workshop that stab you.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
So that the person missed them, and we're explaining the person, just interact with the oilies. You will have the things that spawn in the floor that will slow you down. Don't worry about them. Just walk through them.
Yeah.
And while we're explaining the person, there was this mage that the tank was carrying.
Yeah.
He just attacked the boss without the healer, and it was instant wipe.
Of course.
Even though we can at some point carry the DPS and kill the bosses really fast.
Yeah.
Without a healer, you just cannot survive.
Yeah.
There are just a few classes that have the type of sustain required to survive without a healer in a mythic dungeon.
Yeah.
And it was that made me so angry at the time.
Oh my god.
Because it's dude, we are carrying you already. That person was behind damage. It was doing less damage than our healer.
Jesus. Oh, wow.
It doesn't matter.
All right.
That's okay.
Okay.
You're under gear.
Yeah.
It's just a +10. No one really cares.
All right. Yeah.
We were chilling. But don't put wait until the healer is here to pull the walls. I don't that's. It's not even about knowing the mechanics. That's common courtesy, I guess.
Yes.
It's not even about, he's dying to the mechanics. No, fair. Who cares?
Did he pull it by mistake, maybe?
I don't know if it was by mistake. I don't know. But I wrote in chat dude, don't pull without the healer.
Yeah.
He didn't say anything.
All right. Yeah.
I don't know if it was by mistake. I don't know, but
yeah, the fact that he didn't say anything was the egregious thing, right?
Yeah, it's apologize. Oh yeah, my bad.
Sorry, pull it. Yeah, whatever.
Something.
Okay. Yeah, and you say okay. Yeah, fair. Right. Doesn't matter.
Fair. That's exactly. But it's that attitude of
Yeah.
Don't give a shit.
Yeah. It's been ungrateful, the fact that they're actually carrying you, that they explain stuff to you. That.
Yeah, but if you have reached the point where you're doing mythic tens, how it is outrageous that you have reached that point without being polite enough to just wait for your healer.
Or to say, I'm sorry, I misclick or whatever.
Yeah. It's just, that's the thing that is that was so enraging for me. Like,
yeah.
Dude, just wait for the healer. Like,
Yeah. Just be proper, yeah. But it's like I insist, like all that is. I think this thing is more dependent on the context of like whatever you're doing. Yeah.
Oh no, it's absolutely. It's I just thought the topic about player behavior was interesting.
Yeah.
Compared to the games where social dependency is a thing.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised actually. I mean the Mythic Plus environment and the pug rating can be quite toxic environments.
Or yeah.
But they never got as toxic as Overwatch for me. And there are a lot of assholes playing World of Warcraft.
Yeah. It's because of the rank. It's because of the rank system.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
You don't think so? Yeah.
No, because
I think I insist. I think it's player education, even encouraged by the community or encouraged by the developers, and giving tools to that is important in a game. Like one of the biggest problems of Overwatch is like it doesn't teach you the game properly. Right?
You could argue that neither does WoW, but
you can argue that neither does WoW. But if you're like if you don't have to teach a player proper etiquette in mythics and raiding in general, right? But in Overwatch is different. Like if you are like engaging with the base, like quick play, you will have to teach the player that the important thing of playing Overwatch is playing in a group, that you have to be careful with your role, and etc. And you have like a place that you have to fulfill in a group, and that means that everything is about teamwork, right? And how to do the proper teamwork. But the game never teaches you that properly.
Sure, but again, World of Warcraft doesn't either.
I don't know. Like in this
it
moment,
doesn't teach you at all. Like it just throws you into a game, kind of.
But even so, like Overwatch has like a lot of different kind of problems right now.
Sure, it could have all the problems, but I feel like the biggest problem is the toxicity of the game.
Oh, absolutely agree.
Not the game itself. I think the game is functional and for the most part serviceable.
I do agree that one of the biggest problems is
even if you complain out if heroes being unbalanced and powers and stuff and things, like the game works for them. Like,
but then the question is like, in
90% of the game works.
Yeah, in terms of play behavior, how do you fix a toxic community? Yeah, that's the question.
I don't know. I think. I think at some point you embrace it and you become Call of Duty.
Yeah, all right. Like it's funny because like that was one of the taboos of like why a lot of people don't pick up, like, for example, League of Legends, even if it's a good game.
Oh, it's not a good game.
Okay.
Let's put that clear and on the table. It is not a good game.
For you, it's not a good game.
For anyone.
I do enjoy League of Legends. So is my judgment wrong?
Yes.
All right. Wrong. Then I'm wrong, but happy, enjoying the game.
Oh, but they can be wrong. Like
they can be wrong. Anyways, but how do you fix a toxic community? Like that's the question.
I think you have a small window of time to do it, like early on the life of the game.
So there, you say that there is no salvation. Like once a community is gone toxic,
I that there is a point. Like once, like there is a point in the lifespan of the game, where it's just not gonna happen. It just spread too fast, too far.
So you just let him die?
either let him die or embrace it and said fuck it. And that's what a lot of games do. Like that's what League of Legends do.
Yeah, correct.
It's a fucking toxic community.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
The same thing with like COD, like Call of Duty.
Yes.
It's a successful game. A lot of people play it. But if you get into that, like it's a fucking toxic environment.
All right. So you say that is no fixing it once it's gone too far.
It became kind of a feature of the game.
All right. Yeah. Oh man, that's so bad.
It is bad. I'm not saying it's good.
Yeah, that's so terrible, man. I don't know. I think that there is like, I think there is salvation at some point. Hope.
No, there's no hope.
No hope.
You are not gonna change the shitty community of League of Legends. They're just a bunch of assholes.
They've been fighting like they've been fighting that for like so many years.
And how far have they come?
Apparently, way better.
Yeah, sure.
Apparently, it's been way better than before.
It's a shit show.
It's still a shit show, but it's less of a shit show than it was years ago. Apparently, like season 4 and 5 was like the worst thing ever, and like I don't know. Right now there is like talking about it. Like right now there is like a big concern about the community, that the League of Legends community has become so toxic in certain servers that it's impossible for players to play in high level matches.
Sure.
And that's a problem in like the actual quality of the game. But again, like from like in the shoes of the developer, how do you fix that? If your game is starting to become unplayable because of the community is so toxic, what do you do? Like as a developer? Like imagine if you're not imagine that you cannot depart. Like imagine that you cannot let him die. Like it is your job to try to fix this. Right? What do you do?
I can always sell mangoes in the street. I don't know.
Oh my god!
I can work for Jeff Bezos. She always did the delivery voice. I don't know.
But that's my question to you. Like, is there any way to fix it? Like, can you imagine any way to fix it as a developer?
No.
You cannot imagine any way to fix it as a developer?
What would you do? Like,
things like to begin with, I'll probably consult with a bunch of social psychologists. To begin with.
We're doomed.
What?
You're doomed.
You're doomed. To begin with, I will probably consult with professional social psychologists to tell me how to steer or try to like encourage different behavior in a community, right? And like implement systems. There's a lot of tools, but be like super rigorous with implementing certain systems, and like make a sample of people. Even like I don't know if that worked. That's why I will probably ask a social psychologist what will be like the correct way to try to steer the community to a more healthy place. But that's a lot of work, right? That's definitely a lot of work. But I don't think that it's not like impossible to do it.
I think it is. I think no. I think the anonymity of the internet.
Yeah.
Like just you have a lot of power being anonymous behind a keyword. So
that's true.
And the consequence, the last consequence is that you're gonna waste what, $60 in some cases.
Yeah.
And that's it.
you already have tools for, like, well, the things like that. It's like it's such a hard approach to try to do that in this day and age, because you can actually like IP ban people, or like hard ban people through certain systems, uh, to take them out, to take that behavior out of the community. But that's not lucrative. But because the best lucrative things, like, you just have tools and you keep banning people and they keep buying new accounts, and that's good for business, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. It just
It's such a
the,
difficult, it's such a difficult problem.
no, it's just that there's a huge disconnection between like consequences and like real life consequences and like online consequences, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm gonna be a complete asshole playing Overwatch. What I'm gonna get? A suspension, a complete ban. They're gonna close my account. Okay, $60 gone. Eh.
Yeah.
It's not because it's not that it's just that it doesn't really matter. Like,
Well, but we just discussed that kind of matters, because if you have a toxic community, the enjoy.
oh no, it does matter. It doesn't
Yeah.
like it matters for the game. It doesn't matter for the person.
Yes. Correct.
Like there are no real consequences for me being an asshole.
Yeah.
Video game.
It's difficult. It's a difficult topic.
That's what I don't think. And
That's
what
why
I was
you say,
surprised.
like, just assume it and let it burn, or like, yeah.
Embrace it.
Yeah.
Become low.
Become All right. Anyways, moving on to the next topic. Which this person asked the internet, do you actually want a new class for World of Warcraft? Do you actually want a new class? Is there a niche? Is there something that World of Warcraft hasn't completely covered in the class system?
I wanted to ask you that.
Let's think about it. Like, let's think. I was like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, is there any fantasy that is not available in World of Warcraft? And I was like, all right, we have a fighter monk. When you go and fist people in the face to either do damage or heal them, which is interesting. We have every type of mage that there is, like elemental mages, arcane mages, fire and frost mages, pet mages, diseases mages, uh, yeah, that's kind of the majority of mages there is. There is like dark mages, if you want to think about like a shadow priest. Then we have like battle mages in the form of like enhancement shamans, or like even some undead classes can be battle mages because they like kind of weave spells while they hitting you with a sword. And then and so you cover the majority of mages. Then we have rogues. Rogues have like all three type of different rogues that there is. And like in any more like range classes, we have hunters for the people who wants to hit you from afar with a bow or a pistol or a rifle. We have all the types of warriors. You one-handed warriors, two-handed warriors, mage warriors, hive, like in the case of the demon hunters, like hive, action, adrenaline, super agility warriors. We have all types of healers with melee, healers, pure casters, healers with dots, healers without dots. What else is there?
I mean, the question is not about. You probably have all the basic things covered.
Yeah, you have like the majority of fantasies.
Way
like
less
even
classes than the ones that we have now.
Yeah. What say that again, Lucho? I'm sorry.
It's not about covering the basics anymore. Like
yeah.
even if you remove some of the classes right now, you'll still have like all the basics covered. I don't think it's a question about like I don't think if you want to find a new class, the question is not about what archetype are we missing.
Yes, but
what fantasy do you want to see in the game?
What fantasy is left? That was I was trying to like figure out which fantasy is left to cover.
There are things that people want. Like,
for example,
people want a pure necromancer.
But a pure necromancer.
And a lot of people say that one of the DK specs is basically a necromancer.
Which one is that? Frost? Blood? Disease?
Bone?
What?
Bone? I don't know. The one that has the rest of the army.
Like one is the frost decay, the other is the blood decay, and the third is like the disease decay or something like that. It's like the affliction decay or something like that.
Affliction?
Like it has to do with like applying the buff.
Blood, frost, and unholy.
Unholy, there we go. I think unholy decay.
Unholy is the one that is
a necromancer, like, technically? Is he like
a necromancer?
Well, the fantasy is like what fantasy are you recording? Like you use the corpses of your dead to a purpose. That is the fantasy of the necromancer.
Think of the Diablo 3 necromancer.
Yeah, you use the corpses of things to a purpose, right?
Yeah.
And they saying that the unholy decay does that?
It covers like the necromancer fantasy in the sense that it rises an army of undead.
There you go.
But it still feels different than the more castery like necromancer.
So they want a more caster like the thing is like it will be too similar to the warlock, the thingy warlock.
Sure, but a lot of the classes are very similar among themselves already. A lot of the specs are very similar among themselves already.
So it's not a problem of similarity. It will be a problem like a specific fantasy to be fulfilled. Like a proper caster necromancer?
Yeah, I don't think it should matter that much that the classes or the specs overlap.
Yeah.
Because they already kind of do.
Yes.
But I know that's one. There's a very specific one that a lot of people want. They're Dark Rangers.
Dark Ranger. What is exactly Dark Ranger?
It is one of the elite bodyguards of Sylvanas. They're like specifically like night elf, undead night elf. Hunters.
Okay, and what is the thing that they do?
Oh, it is unclear, like because
yes,
they're basically just like an elite squad that protects Sylvanas.
So they can be just normal rangers that are undead, like
yeah. But what is a ranger? Like almost all the rangers are just hunters. Like
yeah, okay, yeah.
But it is the specific out there, like because you cannot have undead elves in WoW. Well, like the only undead class, like the only undead race is humans because they are a specific like, and they're really specific. Like it's not any undead human; it is humans from Lordaeron, from a specific city. Those are the Forsaken.
But that can be just like a aesthetic change, right? Now that they're overhauling the...
Sure,
it will make sense in lore. Oh, yeah, it will make sense in lore. There are now a bunch of like elves, undead elves because of Eldrasil burning down.
It could be, but what do you like? Do you do a new do you make a new race?
No, just make a cosmetic choice.
Oh, but it's not that easy. Like a cosmetic option for who?
For the undead, right?
For Forsaken.
Yeah, for Forsaken, yes.
But Forsaken is like in lore, the Forsaken had a very specific thing.
I know what you mean.
Like the Forsaken are undead humans from Lordaeron. Those are the Forsaken.
But they can it will be like a lore. It will be like a lore discussion because technically now
It is a lore discussion.
the undead, technically what was that thing about the lore thingy? Like it was like the undead elves that are now appearing are joining the Forsaken because of the new leadership or something like that. There's a political thingy.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of who, like, okay, let's say that we allow undead elves.
Yeah.
Who should they join? The Horde or the Lions?
That's a good question.
It is things that may not sound important, but that matter to people.
Yeah. They probably won't join the Horde for sure.
But
well, that's weird.
It is weird. For example, that's one, like Dark Rangers, and I think that exists in game. Like it's a thing that exists in lore, but it's such a specific combination of things. But people still want it. Like people want to play like Dark Ranger.
But is it worth it to make an entire new class for it?
Is it? Maybe not. it is hard to tell.
Yeah.
Because also Rangers are not a thing in WoW. Like there is no Ranger class. But the closest thing is probably like a marksman hunter or something.
Yeah. I was thinking exactly about that. Yeah.
But like for example, people would like to play as like a high elf rangers, which again are a thing in lore. Like, but no one knows what a ranger really is.
But you like if you pick an elf, you can make it a hunter, right?
Yeah, but it's a hunter. It's not a ranger.
But that will technically be a ranger, even if if you make it a hunter and it's like a marksman hunter, then technically he's a ranger because he's doing exactly what a ranger does, right?
Some people would say that. Some people would say that it's not really that. Another question is, for example, hunters are the only class that can use ranged weapons.
Correct. All right. Yeah.
Maybe we should have another class that can use ranged weapons.
Bows, arrows, and pistols, and that
bows
stuff.
And
is it that?
Yeah, bows,
is that true? Hunters are the only ones that can use ranged weapons. I thought rogues could use ranged weapons.
They could, like in classic, they were able to, but
in classic they were able to.
Not anymore. Like hunters are the only.
I didn't know that. I thought rogues. I was 100% convinced that rogues could use ranged weapons.
No.
What? Then I will agree. We do need another class that uses ranged weapons. That makes no sense.
It could, but then what range class would you bring?
Probably we will be doing that Dark Ranger.
Okay, so now Ranger, it becomes hard because then, okay, let's say that we are going to do Rangers as a class. What specs are you going to put in that class? And how are they going to be different enough from other specs? Even if they feel a similar role?
Yeah. I'll probably start by doing some kind of a sniper class. Some kind of a sniper spec. So we'll do it about range, right? About what range can you shoot your range weapon. And I'll probably do like a super sniper. Then I will do a mid class with like a lot of utility, and then I will do a dual wielding range weapon class.
Okay. Some people will argue that the sniper class right now are the marksman because they benefit from staying afar from the like really afar.
I haven't seen a marksman in like. I haven't seen anybody play a marksman.
It's not that popular, but the idea is that it is a mix between like a Beastmaster and a caster. So all the Beastmaster spells, quote unquote, are instant. Like they don't have casting time.
All right, yeah.
They just happen.
Okay, yeah.
Marksman have a lot of like casting things and like channeling spells and stuff like that. So it benefits from like staying outside, like far away, and steal. Like a marksman.
Does they benefit for stealth? Like, no.
From stealth? No, I think survival is the one that benefits from stealth.
But they don't have range weapons? Do they have
survival? No, survival are the melee spec of.
There you go. So probably will be like a stealth range, like far away range, the stealth range, kind of.
It could be. I'm not saying that there is no place. I'm saying that it's fitting to find that.
I will definitely like a faster kind of like Demon Hunter type Diablo 3 style of gameplay in a class. You know, that fast pace, like double wielding, pew pew.
Yeah, I feel like they have had a lot of trouble balancing Demon Hunters already.
But no, like not in a melee. Not in a melee.
No, I know what you mean, but like it's just that because of the way a lot of the mechanics work in game, benefits a lot high mobility classes.
Correct.
And they have had a lot of trouble balancing Demon Hunters for that reason.
Because they're too high mobility?
Yeah. They're just too useful.
Yeah, they're super strong. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but that brings a lot of balancing
issues. Yeah.
Issues. So I like. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm saying like I'm not knocking down your idea. I like your idea. I'm just saying that it's fit. Like I see why they haven't produced new classes in a while.
Yeah.
It is challenging.
Yeah. But yeah, probably if people are asking for data rangers and there's this opportunity, I will do something like that, like a sniper, and then the mid-range one will be.
I mean, I'm not saying all the community is asking for Dark Rangers. I'm just saying there's a portion of the community who wants Dark Rangers.
I did not know that there was only one class that could use range weapons, which is a huge waste of like design space. For at least for me, like I think that is a waste of design space. Like
maybe
not having another class.
Not that many range weapons.
Yeah, not having another class that uses range weapons is a waste of design space.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and I'll probably do that. And those are the three specs: like a sniper stealth, a mid range with traps, like the Demon Hunter in Diablo. And that would be like kind of like the utility class, the utility spec, like all based on ball traps and like trapping the enemy and CC and etc. etc.
That's what a survival hunter is.
Right? I've never seen a survival hunter.
That's basically what a survival hunter does.
What, put traps and CC people? Yeah. Really? Yeah. Oh my god! All right. Well, then I have to think about another thing for the mid-range.
I know it's hard. I'm not saying it's easy.
Yeah.
Is there any other like fantasy archetype that you would like to see?
Besides that one?
Yeah, I mean, I just gave you that example. Is there something that you could think that
is missing in World of Warcraft? Let me think about it.
Or that you would like to see, like as a personal preference.
I would like to see as a personal preference. Let me think. No, that's pretty much okay. That was cover. No, mages. That's cover too. I don't think so. Like beyond that Demon Hunter thingy, like I would like to see that Demon Hunter like double wielding range weapons mobility class. That I would like to see. That will be the one that I would like. Then I would like to play more fast paced dual wielding pew pew shooty thing.
Fast paced pew pew.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see why that would be a pain in the ass to balance.
Yeah.
Because also, as you probably know, like a lot of the fights benefit a lot range DPS.
Yes, correct.
So having a super mobile range DPS, it's kind of a problem.
Well, no. The way that I was thinking about is like it's not that range. Like you cannot do that like from far away. You have to be close to the thing. You'll be almost to like kind of closer to like melee range. The only thing you would be like shooting pistols or like, or at least that's how I was thinking about it.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't know if the range thing is a concept that WoW would delve into.
I don't know.
I'm just thinking of the way that the arenas and boss fights are designed.
Yeah.
Like it's... I feel like at least now they're not designed to have different ranges in mind. Like roles will fill in different spaces in mind.
Yeah, fair enough. I think
could work.
Yeah, I think that would be the interesting fantasy for me at least, because everything else, everything else that I like exists in the game. Like I do like monks, and like the monk class pretty much cover the fantasy that I like in monks. Uh, and I like battle mages, and enhancement shaman I think covers that, or like a lot of paladins classes covers enhancement mages, like battle mages that uses
Sure.
like spells to hit harder with melee attacks. And those are the classes that I like overall. So they're already in the game. But the demon hunter one is the one that is not. The demon hunter as in Diablo 3 demon hunter.
Yeah, I think maybe like a caster necromancer could be interesting.
Yeah, that could be interesting too.
Like a cripple, like the classic caster, like
the classic I raised from the
cloth
dead.
wearing.
Yeah, but would you
like
like it like
necromancer.
more pet base, or more based on something else? Like because if you think about the designing, like Diablo 3 is like very much centered around corpses as a major thing, right?
Yeah,
but you can use it like as a pet, or you can use it like as a solo and using the corpses for.
It's a class you could probably have one pet class, one pet spec, and one just castery spec.
Yeah.
That is, I don't know, exploding corpses and raining bones and
things like that.
You know which there is a weird intersection that I'm not saying is not core, but it's hard to role play as, and is that that witch doctor, Diablo 3 witch doctor, like think a shaman that uses spell magic.
But isn't that like a warlock? Isn't that like mostly covered by the warlock?
But a warlock is a more, like in fantasy terms of, like think of fantasy. Like a warlock is kind of a sorcery kind of wizardy kind of guy.
Yes, more of a wizard, technically speaking. Yeah.
I'm not saying how they work, but like how I think of them.
Yeah.
Like a warlock is just kind of a cloth wearing, scholarly kind of class that uses spell. But a shaman is more like connection with the elements kind of thing, like creating thoughts and stuff.
So you will like a shaman. So you mean like a shaman with a pet
Like
class?
a shaman that uses spell magic.
A shaman that uses spell magic.
Yeah.
I thought a shaman with pets, but all right.
I mean, that's not all there is to. That's how I like the witch doctor in Diablo, but like the witch doctor in Diablo is kind of that shamany thing.
Yeah.
Is like you see the witch doctor in Diablo and you don't think, oh, this is like a wizard kind of guy.
Yeah.
So is that weird mix of
Kind of like the other side of that, like, kind of a voodoo magic kind of thing.
yeah.
Not a wizard properly, but more of a dark, occult stuff. Yeah.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
would be.
I know what intersection.
I don't know how to balance that
Yeah.
against all the other classes because there are a lot of casters, a lot of pet classes.
Yeah.
But that fantasy of like the swampy witch doctor.
Yeah, the swampy witch doctor. All right, and for a final topic, affinity, Warframe affinity problem. So what is the people don't like? How do you gain affinity in some situations in Warframe?
So it's basically a complaint about how affinity system encourages leeching experience.
Yeah.
When you're learning stuff up. Because basically, whenever you're in a mission and you're in affinity range,
Yeah.
like all the experience from kills is shared.
Yes, correct.
And it's shared like in different ways with the specific numbers and things.
Yes.
But the important piece is that it basically when you're learning weapons, it encourages you just to have the weapon equipped.
Yeah.
But just let people kill stuff.
Correct.
So, what do you think of it?
Things like the system has a very clear purpose in mind, right? That if you want to level up something, you have to use it. That's what the system is based on, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'll say that plus group play.
Yeah, it gives you. It is because he's encouraged you to do both things. He's encouraged you to go and play with more people, and if you want to level up the thing, then use the thing. Right. So the question is it fulfilling that purpose? Is it fulfilling that aim, that goal?
I mean, it could not. It depends. Like not really. For example, like if you have a really strong weapon and you can just equip a second weapon that you're leveling up and never use it because you have one strong weapon.
But it takes you longer to level up that second weapon, right?
It depends. I mean, that longer is relative because now with things like Santorian slot,
yeah,
you have so many enemies in such a reduced space, spamming at such fast rate that it really doesn't matter. Like it's just gonna level up fast.
Then will you remove? Because the intention that I feel about the affinity system in Warframe is that he wants you to encourage you to play with more people, and he wants you to encourage you to use whatever you're leveling up.
Oh no, I agree. I agree with that. That is definitely the
intention.
Is it working? I think there is a fair point to the complaint that ESO is breaking that fundamentally.
Absolutely. Absolutely feels like he's breaking that fundamentally intention. So the question is, will you change ESO or will you change the entire affinity system?
I think I will change ESO, and to be honest, I don't know why Santorin slot gives affinity.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, right?
It shouldn't, because it is just a simulation, quote
yeah,
unquote.
correct. Yeah, you're not actually killing real stuff.
The enemies are not real, no?
Yeah.
Are like these constructs of Cephalon Simaris.
Yeah. But like, let's think that ESO doesn't exist. Then, if it's a problem that we can fix,
I think that if ESO doesn't exist, it is not a problem, because even the most efficient low-lead method,
yeah,
it is so slow that it actually encourages you to use the weapon.
There we go. Then the system is. That's my point. That like the affinity system has a clear purpose that it should be.
No. I agree with you, and I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the problem is the system, in the environment that it lives now. Because you like it or no, Santorin's slot exists.
I know, right?
so that is the context. You cannot. I mean, you cannot remove this Santorin's slot in itself. Maybe you should remove the experience from that.
Yeah. So we should. I think the answer is like we should remove affinity experience for ESO.
Or so maybe we shouldn't. Maybe it doesn't matter. What do you think? Does it matter?
I think the like personally, I think the affinity system in Warframe is fine because it's trying to encourage you to do that specific thing. Right?
Oh yeah, I think the idea is fine. Here the question is the execution the right?
Is it executing right? I think in all the contexts except for ESO it is. So the problem is not the system, is ESO, because it's breaking the system that was working fine before it, right? Or do you feel like before ESO the affinity system was a problem?
I don't think it was a problem. I think Warframe has other issues with this experience cave.
Okay.
But that's a different problem.
Yeah. So I feel like for this thing in particular, it is pointed to like ESO should not give you affinity. That's it.
What about and I know, like, the reason why ESO has experience, it's because it was designed to basically be the most efficient focus farming system in the game.
Yeah, but you can
focus is tied to experience. Affinity.
Fuck. Yeah, right.
Like, focus is just a percentage of the affinity that your weapons gain.
I remember that. Yeah, you probably have to disconnect or give you focus directly into ESO.
Yeah.
Which can be done, right? You can just at the end of the run give you the focus.
Maybe. I don't know how it's like. Sure, everything can be done. We don't know how it's coded.
Again,
you have
with this.
To write again from the ground up.
Maybe. Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah. I get it. Yeah. But if I think it's worth it to actually change that if that's broken one of the oldest system that is working fine for you in the other context, right?
Yeah, but now I know you have farm focus, but the focus farm is such a slow farm that without ESO, do you remember how people used to farm focus before ESO?
It was what was it? Taking.
It was basically taking any frame that could put enemies to sleep.
Yeah, correct.
And still kill them as much as you can without being detected. Just to keep the stealth affinity.
The stealth affinity was, yes, correct. And it was Ivara, or what was the other one?
The dual one.
The dual one, yes, exactly.
I forgot the name.
God, we forgot. Oh my God, Jesus. Search it, Lucho, save us.
I don't remember.
Where is the name? Eclipse? Something with E. Is it with E?
No.
No? Damn it. Do you find it?
I'm looking for it, but I don't remember.
Just put all the frames. All the frames.
That's what I'm doing.
Equinox.
Equinox, yes.
I win.
It was with an E. Equinox,
yeah. Yeah, and it was like going to Equinox and put everybody to sleep and then pop it.
Yeah, but like that would take you, like if you wanted to focus cap.
Yeah.
In like the daily cap.
Yes.
You'll spend like a couple of hours doing that. And that is correct. A pretty boring process.
Correct. And plus you have to prepare the frame and everything else. And
yeah. And ESO allows you to like focus cap
pretty quick.
In less than an hour.
Yeah.
Maybe an hour. Which makes it like it is now like doable to just like max
your focus things, yeah.
Your focus things. Like it's gonna it's still a long-term goal.
Yeah.
But now you don't have to spend 3 hours doing the stupid putting to sleep enemies thing that it's so boring. You can just go to ESO for 45 minutes
and be done.
Be done with that.
Yeah, but like then the answer, like it will be much easier to like modify that to give you like the focus at the end. Now there's too many intertwined like systems. Now that I think about it, it's like because you use lenses, and because
the problem is that we don't know how the focus thing is coded.
It's super intertwined with it. Now that I think about it, it's like super intertwined with affinity.
Yeah, no, it's not intertwined. It's just like it's a direct thing. It's just
yes.
It's a direct.
It's a child. It's a child of affinity, basically.
Yeah, it's not intertwined. It's just
there's a straight arm.
Connect.
Yeah.
And it could be hard coded like that. It is just you have this lens equipped, you get this percentage of affinity as focus.
All right. I think our answer is like it is a problem because of ESO, and we should look at it, but we're running kind of time, so we have to move on, unfortunately.
Sure.
So that's the end of a deep dive. Now we move to our audience questions and feedback. Don't forget that you can write us down to any of our social medias, pass by us by my stream, leave us questions there, write down to the email of the podcast, write down in the comments if you're watching on YouTube. Try to communicate any way, shape, or form to your burning question. We will answer them here on the podcast. So, first question. Why is the most hype games you guys have ever played and that it was good? So it was live to the hype.
Diablo 3.
Ooh. Diablo 3 lived to your hype, even in release, even vanilla Diablo 3?
Yeah, I enjoyed a lot at release.
Cool.
I enjoyed the story. I never got, on release, I never got into... And it didn't have anything really past the story, so...
Fair enough.
I enjoyed it.
So it was like, it
I beat the game... I beat the story, I made a couple of different characters, I beat the story with different classes. I had fun.
Cool.
And at release, it didn't have any real quote-unquote endgame or rift system. That all of that came after the fact.
Yeah.
So at release, I enjoyed the game a lot.
Cool. For me, it was The Witcher 3. It was like super hype for the game. expected a lot of the game, and the game gave me everything that I expected and more. I think for me that absolutely did it. All right, and for our second question, what's been your worst looking for group experience?
Anything in Overwatch.
Anything now?
Just uninstall the game.
Oh, it's been the worst all the time. I think for me, it's been a lot of parts of League of Legends has been like super rough.
Game. I don't know why you play it.
All the legends are true. I don't know. It's like I'm a masochist for it.
It is not even a good game. Like if it were a good game, I'll say sure. Look, if you were to tell me,
yeah,
like the StarCraft 2 community is awfully toxic, yeah. I'll say okay, but that one is a good game.
Okay.
So I get what you endure it. By League, it's not worth it, man.
I don't know.
It's not even a good game. That's all I'm gonna say.
I will keep playing it though.
It's not even a good game.
But yeah, some matches has been like, from the beginning I entered the lobby has been like awful.
Then why do you play it?
Why
don't you walk away?
I don't know. I can't. Anyway, I think that's it.
That's all for this week's episode. Once again, thanks for tuning into The Sweaty and the Farmer and the Game Design. My name is Lucho, and you can find me on Twitter at LuisGPolanco.
And I am the Learning Gamer, and you can find me on Twitter at the Learning Gamer and on Twitch on twitch.tv/LearningGamerTV, where I stream Mondays, Thursdays, Tuesdays, and Fridays. Don't forget to share, like, tell everybody that you hear us, that we are cool, that we're nice, that we're keeping you sane through the quarantine, or that we're keeping you company in those lonely days, and then you find comfort in us, just like speaking random stuff about games. And, of course, punch that notification bell. Do the Sweaty the Farmer and the Game Design. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye. And did you know ancient Egyptians worshipped onions, believing their spherical shape and concentric circles within symbolize eternity? In fact, onions were often placed in the burial tombs of pharaohs, as they believed to bring about prosperity in the afterlife. So every time you eat an onion, think about eternity and life forever and like enlightenment. Yes. That's what you think when you eat an onion, right?
All the time.
All the time.
You can peel or cut an onion without crying if you cut the root and last. And if the onion is cold, or you cut it with holding the onion under cold running water. So, and I think the best advice is just to have a sharp knife.
Yes. So how do you avoid to cry while you're cutting onions?
I sharpen my knives.
You sharpen your knives?
I do. like the whole point is that a dual knife will break more of the bounds between the things that will make you cry. So we'll have more juices flowing down of the onion, and that's what makes it. Yeah. So sharpen your knives, kids. Not the kids.
Yeah. All right. Sharpen your knives, people. So you avoid crying to onions. Yeah. You know, I didn't used to like onions till
you have bad taste in everything.
Come on.
You like League of Legends. You like Overwatch.